Yeah, I've done a lot of things to try to make more money in my time.
And
Welcome.
welcome to the Secrets of the Online Coach channel, guys. Today, Lynn and I, episode number 7, we are going to discuss something about money and talking about the easier ways to make money than to be a fitness coach.
There are
The
far
way,
easier ways.
the way that we're going to lead into it is to tell you a little bit about a story with yourself, Lynn, and something that I really enjoy talking about with you and reflect, because since I've known you, you've been doing this online thing, right? And
Hmm.
back then, years and years ago, I was like, what the hell is he doing on Facebook every single 5 minutes?
Yeah, why is he
And
on Facebook every 5 minutes? And why are so many people commenting on his ads, abusing him?
yeah, and I didn't really question it at the time, but I know that you did something, you deviated at one point to make more money online. And I want you to talk a little bit about the last time that you did this to make more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot of things to try to make more money in my time. If we go back to my time in the gym, I created and launched a supplement company called Enduro Supplements that bought supplements, that bought protein powder, I should say, mixed it from factories, sold it to my clients, and then I packaged it, labeled it, and then dropped it in vending machines across Australia, across 24/7 gyms, and that was okay. It did. I think probably about 80,000, 90,000 a year in profit. But I would spend, and I only had it for a year, but I would spend all my time packaging up shit, um, printing labels, shipping labels, and it was a nightmare. Uh, I also, managed 6 apartment gyms called Urban Health. We branded this called Urban Health, and I was managing them, and I was hiring personal trainers, and it was good because it gave me the taste of owning a gym without having the expenses. We would go out to all these high-rise buildings in Melbourne, big development complexes where you see high rises, 80, 90 levels. Seems to be a big thing here in Australia, where there's tons and tons of apartments being built. So we got a contract with a company. What are they called, Keri? Like PG or P&G, or a big company, a big corporation, and we got into that. To make money, I also got into a partnership and opened a Pilates studio and yoga studio. And in fact, I hired K-Bod to be one of my instructors, didn't I, Keri? So we got you certified, and you started teaching Saturday morning lessons. Aside from that, and to make money, I was still working in a 24/7 anytime fitness gym, and that's when I launched the hybrid program where I advertised on Facebook to bring guys in, and I would have 20 guys in a group, and they would pay $70 a week. They would have a group training session on the weekend. It would be a seminar. I would program their workouts, give them access to a membership site, train them, keep them accountable, coach them through Facebook. And then every single week they come in and we do a workshop. And I had about 70 or 80 guys through that. And that's exactly how I met Keri. And then, that kind of seemed to be my 2012, 2013, 2014 as I tailed off, as I kind of was like, what else is out there? Being a personal trainer in the gym isn't going to be my career. I'm not gonna have kids. I'm not gonna meet the partner of my dreams and be a PT. That wasn't going to be my thing. I wasn't going to go, this is something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I began to explore. And it wasn't until I launched the hybrid program that I saw the potential of online coaching. Now, I had no idea it would go on to be what it is today, and what we've developed it to be inside of the 1%. but there was potential. And it was like, okay, I can see the value of these guys training with me in the gym, but I don't know outside of the gym what my value is. And so it's really interesting that you asked that, because along everything that I've done with supplements, fitness studios, the apartment complexes, the hybrid, was all in line with fitness until I jumped inside of the online space. And you know, we all know the story that it took me about 9 months to figure out paid advertising, to get paid advertising to work. And so the first 9 months was me posting organically, me reaching out to people, Keri posting, like Keri logging into my PB City account whilst she was sitting at Telstra posting quotes, because that's what we thought we had to do. Do you remember that, K-Bod?
I was the accidental social media manager.
and you were so nice. Like, you were so nice, and we were dating at the time. And I'm just like, hey, can you post these quotes up? Because you were like, yeah, I'll help you out. So I got you to post up quotes on Instagram. I think you did that for, I don't know, 3 months, every day, 3 months, until you were like, I'm sure at some point you were like, what the fuck am I doing this for? Like, were you like, did you think that? Because
I don't think I ever said that to you, but I was definitely
like, what the fuck is happening here? Is he getting any clients, or what the fuck's going on? And so I got you to do that, because I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, I'm just posting quotes and that's what you're supposed to do. And I was stuck. So 3 months or 4 months into this business, I then go, fuck, I need some money. Or I'll go back to the gym. So 4 months into the business, mind you, I've got the Pilates studio happening, not making any money, almost sucking my time. I'm still running these apartment complexes. And then I'm working as an online coach, supposedly not successful. But 3 months into it, I see this webinar, and what's really funny is it's local advertising for dentists, and this guy called Perry Marshall, and I think an affiliate of his, then sell me into his course. You know, if you pay me $9.97, I'll teach you how to land and do and generate leads for local dentists and local, what would they call them? Attorneys. We never use attorneys here, but the US people, they love using attorneys. We use lawyers here, right? And we don't really call them attorneys. And they were like, and I remember you were watching, I was sitting down watching the webinar feeling so excited, because I'm like, oh fuck, this is it. This is it. And so I'm going through the course, and I remember you kind of wondering what I'm doing now. I mean, gosh, you must have thought, what did I get myself into? Because I'm doing so many things to try to figure out the game. And so what happens next is really interesting, because whilst everything that I'm trying to do takes so long, and there's never, I never seem to break through. Like, the subs did well. But that was what, $70,000 a year. PT did well, and that was $70,000. The Pilates studio was kind of breaking even. The apartment gyms were steady, but I'm talking about a breakthrough. I'm talking about something where you go, fuck it, I'm going to go all in on that. And this seemed to be my very first break, because I remember reaching out, cold calling a dentist in Sydney, a dentist in, and how we did it was this. It was a LinkedIn strategy. And if you go to LinkedIn, you type in Lynn, you'll see me. And I branded this up within like 24 hours. I got a Facebook page up called The Growing Dentist. I had a nice logo designed. I created my very first lead magnet, and I just started pulling resources together. And the strategy was, go on LinkedIn and find all these dentists and post content and post article, and then follow these people. They'll follow you back, and then off you go. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is easy. Because I remember one time at Telstra, you were at work, and I was sitting there, it was 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and somebody had contacted me. And, we had a conversation. It was, I will help you generate Facebook ads for your dental practice. And I'd never run ads. I'd never run ads. And if you look at it, you can see you can see the error now, because now I'm promising that I can run ads for this local dentist here. Um, I had run ads for my sister Fern, who's a dentist, and I'd run a few things for her, but nothing to the level where we spent millions of dollars today. So back then I started out and I was like, okay, cool, I'll sign you up. And I had two packages, one package for I think it was 3,500 a month, another package for 1,500 a month. And so I got my very first client at 1,500. I called Keri up. Did we celebrate? I
I don't distinctively remember.
no,
All I remember out of that time frame was you creating your lead magnets, which were really phenomenal, by the way.
they were
Because
amazing, weren't they? I'm gonna see.
yeah, because even for my design eye, and
Mm,
for someone that I knew has no knowledge about the dental industry,
mm-hmm.
I was really, really impressed.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know
show
how
you
you
guys.
set
I'm
it
gonna
up.
see if I can pull this up. I'm gonna see what we can do to pull this up. But if I can't, but basically what happened was I landed my first client. I'm just trying to log into Dropbox, but I landed my first client, and how I did it was very simple. LinkedIn, if you look at their page, they follow you page, they follow you back because you can start to see who followed you. They came back to a whole list of content that I put out on my LinkedIn, free strategy course, send them through a lead magnet, and guess what I did? I created. This was the first lucky fucking break. I created what I learned how to create, which was called the implant model. It was
That was it.
IMPLANT, and it had implant, and it was like, I've got a system. And I didn't realize at the time, only until more recently now. But I showed them this implant model and I said, look, here's how you go through the implant model. I should actually whip it up. It's going to give people a lot more context back then. Because when I look at the lead magnets now, I go, you guys had nothing on me. I spent time on this. But I had this implant model and I said, look, this is how you're going to get clients. This is how you're going to get prospects. This is how you're going to get more people walking into your door. And what I had was launch an ad, collect emails with the landing page, get them in for a low barrier offer, a free tooth clean, something cheap, and then upsell, which was not, I didn't figure this game out. The people, Perry Marshall and that I bought the course off, that's the model. And so I took this, I wrapped this up and I got clients. I got my first two clients within 2 days. And this was fucking crazy because now I'd gone from $0 online to supposedly $3,000 a month recurring. And so, what happened next was really, really phenomenal because I remember getting 13, 14, 15 clients, and I had a lot of clients and I was bringing in money at the moment, but I just had no idea how to consistently fulfill. Okay. Because when you're a service provider, and you're running all of these ads, I then had to figure out getting added to their ad account. I'd have to talk to them. I would be getting them all these leads. And guess what would happen, Keri? They wouldn't convert them. So they've got 100 leads and now they've only had 2 people in. And so they think they're losing all this money. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't cool. Because I didn't know about business back then. I knew a tactic and I bought this course and the course did the thing that it said it would do. But at the end of every month, the guys would come up to me and go, well, like, hey, thanks for your advertising. And this is the shit that nobody talks about, right? Everybody talks about how they make a lot of money happily ever after, and nobody talks about the shit. So a lot of the times, this would happen. Lynn, yeah, we're getting about 80 leads, but I've tried to call them and they're not coming in. What do I do? Like, this is just not working out. And I'm like, cool, you just need to call them faster. You need to get a response time better. You need to get onto it right away. You need to just call. You're not doing your job hard enough, right? And I just sat there and I was like, well, they're not working hard enough. And it's true, because they took a day or two to call their leads, and the leads would go cold, yada, yada. And what I started to find was I was in a place of, well, I moved out of this pit because I knew how to make money at the time. 12, 13 clients at 1,500 a month. You do the math. Uh, and I could have kept going, and I could have gotten more clients, and I could have gotten more clients, and I could have gotten more clients. But this thing stopped me, because it was like, well, I future paced this. And I said, well, look, what happens when I get 70 clients? What do I do? And what happens if I get 70 clients and then I have to spend an hour on the phone with them every single week to talk through their process? And I started to realize that lead generation wasn't the problem. They had an entire business model problem. Like, they had an entire business model problem. You have to completely restructure the business model to be able to leverage things, to be able to offer more value. And they weren't able to do that. And this was as I was getting more savvy. And this is from about month 3 to month 9 of me launching PB City. So I'm trying to figure this out. That gets me enough to sustain. And I'm like, fuck this shit. I know paid advertising. I'm going to go do this for PB City. Now, I can't deal with these people. They bring nothing to my soul. Dentists. I don't know if you've ever spoken to dentists. We didn't have a lot in common. And at the end of the day, we were just simply talking about metrics. Now, some of them, like, 3 to 4 were freaking happy. They were stoked. They were like, oh my God, let's do more. I can convert this. I can see how this is going to go. Get me more leads. A lot of them just couldn't follow up with them. And I couldn't do any more because I delivered on what I promised. But because the business model was wrong, they couldn't do it. And nobody talks about this. And so I thought to myself, well, if I keep growing this, I'm going to get 80, 90, 100 people with the wrong business model that I have to completely restructure. And if you work with dentists, physios, chiros, and all of that stuff, you understand that they've got such an old school business model that's worked for them pre-internet, pre-value-based marketing, pre-webinars, pre-funnels, and all of that jazz. And I was like, why don't I generate leads for myself? And I just start closing people. And then I run the business model the way I want to run it. Why don't I just do this for her?
Can I also add something to that, which I think presumably you've put it into the story about you not enjoying working with dentists. Genuinely speaking, you were making money, right? Yep. And you honestly could have figured it out for them, and you could have continued working on, because with each different type of business, you get different sets of problems. And it's kind of like, which problems are the ones that you want to wake up to?
Correct.
And the reality is that the money that you made working with dentists wasn't enough for you to feel like it's worth it to actually work with.
So you're completely spot on. And I came to this and I said, look, if I can change your business model, that is, how would I change your business model? Well, a lot of them were old school and they didn't want to change. And so if I couldn't change them, I didn't feel like I would have maximum leverage and maximum fun. And so I didn't just want to do it for the model and just keep it there and just have this side hustle. I wanted to do something where we were like, shit, this is a lot of fun. You've done a lot of good shit for me. And so you're so right in that sense that, hey, I left it because I didn't have full control over the thing. And I wanted that full control and I wanted that full ownership, which is then why I then turned PB City from hybrid to online coaching with men to going, okay, cool. I have full control of marketing, lead generation, sales, delivery. And it took me a while to figure out, like when I look back at it now and I look inside the 1% as to what we have, it took me ages to actually figure out what the model was, because in my mind, I just wanted to market and sell, and I wanted delivery automated. And that was because I had spent so much time trying to play that game. I never realized that me in delivery was going to be the thing that drove the business forward. that I was trying to market and sell and automate a membership program, et cetera, et cetera.
So why fitness then? Why did you not try a different industry and move away from fitness? Because you wanted you wanted so badly to move away from PT. And I think this is an important story, which I remember one night you came to me and you asked me, what do you think about me going back to the gym? And just as we started dating, you left the gym. So I didn't understand the lifestyle. I didn't understand what it was like to be a PT. And I said to you, yeah, if that's what you want to do and that's what you're really, really great at, go back to it. And I remember that was very general coming from me. But I know that now that I know you, that was not an option.
Yeah.
So how did you move forward from there to go kind of not 360 back to fitness, but why did you decide fitness at the end of the day?
It's a really, really good question. There was so much fulfillment that I got out of the hybrid, that I could coach more people. I could leverage my time. I was seeing guys change. Guys would come up to me and I was like King Dick to them, right? They were like, Lynn, I want to be like you. You're amazing. I want to get as strong as you. I want to look like you. I just want to be like you. And that sense of significance, that sense of contribution and joy and fulfillment and growth, you know, if we look back at Tony Robbins and the 6 human needs, growth and contribution were the 2 things that I got from that. And so when I was doing that, my time didn't feel like it was wasted. It felt very fulfilling. And so by going back into fitness, I knew I could emulate that. Whereas inside of the dental marketing space, I was able to have stability, certainty, and I was able to have significance because I was making money. But that's it. Like 2 out of 6 human needs versus 6 out of 6. And so, you know, I look to online fitness coaching and I go, it's the hardest fucking thing that you'll be able to do. Being a coach, being a successful coach to be able to lead people is the most difficult thing that you can do. But the reasons why it's so difficult, and there are plenty of easier ways to make money, that doesn't lead to your fulfillment though. Like you can make money selling shit on eBay. You can go out there and buy stuff like Gary Vee says, go out to garage sales, buy shit, flip it on eBay and make money. You can make money drop shipping. You can make money doing all sorts of stuff. But generally I found in my experience is that I wasn't fulfilled doing that because there wasn't this level of growth that I had to experience as a person, as a leader. And there wasn't this level of contribution, that direct contribution to say, you know what, Lynn, you transformed my life. I look up to you. You had this impact in me, or you were the catalyst for that. And I say to a lot of people, if you're here to make money, don't do online fitness coaching. Don't be an online leader. Do not build an online fitness movement. If you're looking to sell an automated program, you're not an online coach. You're an online marketer that sells a program. There's a complete difference. Don't call yourself a coach. A coach will be there to take you from point A to point B and motivate the fuck out of you when you feel like you're going to give up. And so a lot of people call themselves online coaches, but when it comes to coaching, they don't actually want to coach. They go, Lynn, I signed up this person. What do I do with them? I say, you coach them. Well, I don't want to coach them. How do I just automate this? And I go, well, then you're not an online coach. Do you want to become an online coach? And it's a really good point that you raised, because then as you pull money out, it's so funny that life works in this way, because you fulfill one need only for life to kick you in the balls and go, oh, by the way, we're going to help you grow a little bit more because that's what you thought you wanted. And now here's another void. Here's another void. And Keri, the void that we face every single day isn't contribution. It's not money. The void every single day that we face, the thing that we have to go against, is that what we do is so fucking difficult. But because we walk through that difficulty, we then get the fulfillment, the joy, the journey, the impact, the money, everything comes. Like if I look back, we're working so much harder than we are. uh, I'm getting paid less than I was in the gym, right? Because if you want to build a business, you can't take all the money. So we pay ourselves a wage. You and I earn a lot less than when you did at Telstra and when I did earning cash in the gym. But I go, we're building an empire and we go through all of the shit. We work 18 hours a day, from start to finish, 7 days a week. You don't switch off. Your mind's always thinking about this. There is no, I'm going to go switch off and then there are no consequences. If you switch off, you need to plan it so that you mitigate the consequences of tomorrow. And what drives a human being to do that? I know the answer, but Keri, what would drive you to do that? If you had no growth, no contribution, would you do that?
No, I just can't, to be honest. But genuinely, I love what I do. I love the people that I work with. I love our clients. Yeah, they're just the coolest people on earth.
They're cool. They're real. They're the people.
I'm in a room full of friends. And the fact is, everyone inside of our community, everyone inside of the 1% is so passionate about what they do that the standard is raised with our work rather than trying to fulfill or deliver. It's a general sense of fulfillment that we get.
It's here's the reality of the situation. Like a lot of people will do what we do and they do it for money. And money is important because if you have a message, you need money to market that message. But if you do it just for money, then you're not going to work as hard as Keri and I. And therefore, if you come up to be competitors, it's no doubt that the person that has more passion, the person that has a bigger why is always going to win. And it's the same thing with what you do. Now, the reality is if you do something for money, there's another person that's going to be doing that same thing, but they're actually passionate about it, which then puts you at risk, which then puts your business at risk. And if you build a business and it's at risk because you're doing it for the money, but you have no purpose, then someone's going to come in and beat you. And if you're looking to build a business, I don't want to know that tomorrow my business could disappear. I want all the cards in my arena. I want to give it the very best chance to build something because everybody wants certainty, but they go and build a business, and building a business is the biggest form of uncertainty that you can have. If you want certainty, go and be an employee for a corporate company. You'll have the most amount of certainty, and even then you're not really secure. So I want to define security. And I really think the biggest form of security that you can have is when you can take ownership. Like I feel like I'm the most secure right now in a volatile market because I can adapt, I can change, I can increase my skill sets to become more valuable. And that's what gives me security. Now, if you go and do something specifically for the money, you only do so much. And if you only do so much, the market is changing so quickly where you have to be really good and better than your competitors to make $1, to make a living. You can't be average. If you're average, you lose. If you're better than your competitors, all of them, and you're just a little, you don't have to be the best. You just have to be better than everyone else. Then you win. And so that's why passion and purpose is so important if you want to build something big. If you want to build something big and you want to have certainty, that's where you need passion and purpose. If you just want to make money, shit, you can always be scrumming somewhere. You can always be going to a garage sale. You can always be, selling your clients a few supplements here and there. And that's okay, but you always live a life just like I did where you never break through. You never ever break through. You're always just there. You're making some money and you're just like, when's my big break? And you see these people, your Gary Vaynerchuk's, your Grant Cardone's, all of these people that you see in your minds and you go, holy shit, how did they get so successful? And it's purpose. And it comes down to their reason that drives them to do these things. And it sounds so cliche, but when you find that, you understand that and then you ride with it. But when you don't have it, And I didn't have this. Like, I didn't have this fire in me. I had the fire that I needed to make money. And then I scratched that itch only to realize that it wasn't the thing that I wanted.
I want to add to it from a different perspective. So the internet nowadays sells the freedom lifestyle of working from your laptop, and they sell it right in front of a beachfront. And the reality is that when I moved away from the corporate world into the business world, and now running a business alongside you, I've said this multiple times to you that I felt more free in the corporate world,
For sure.
free, quote unquote free, than I do now inside of the business world.
For sure.
I wish someone could have redefined freedom, because now I feel more free and freedom of doing what I love versus free in terms of the time. Because when I went home, I would switch off 5 p.m. What is a spreadsheet? I don't even know. I would genuinely be more free, right? With 4 weeks of annual leave, going on holiday, that is freedom.
Yep.
But this is mentally freeing because I get to work with the people that I love working with, and I don't need a holiday.
Yep. You're completely spot on. Let's redefine that. So freedom, when you're working in a job, you want freedom to get out of that job. So you're looking to not do that job. And so freedom is defined as going away, spending, working anywhere in the world, which we can do. But yeah, why are we podcasting 7 episodes in the same goddamn room? It's because we find freedom of choice to do what we want to do, freedom of growth. If we want to grow quicker, we can grow faster. Freedom to spread our own message. Freedom to our own opinions. Now, I'm sure if you go into Telstra with your own opinions, that could get you fired. You don't truly have freedom. You don't get to talk to people the way you want to talk. You don't get to show up as who you are. You don't have that ability to be authentic because everyone's going to judge you. Whereas now you do. In Telstra, and as a personal trainer, guess what we had? We had the freedom to turn off after 5 p.m. For me, it was 9 p.m. Go home, watch The Voice, no consequences. Watch, Australian Idol, American Idol, all of those shows. Freedom to go out to brunch, go out to a Friday night party, get drunk, get wasted. Freedom on the weekends, and then get your 4 weeks off a year. Now, we're actually working more, but we have a choice, and we're working more because we're driven by it. And the thought of taking a week off is still amazing, but we know that it complements our work. We know we'll take the week off when we need the week off to actually recharge, and it's purposeful, as opposed to taking a week off because you have it there. So you're completely right. I'm sure we'll talk about this on another episode in terms of what is freedom, define it. And when you don't have freedom,
redefine it.
Yeah. When you don't have it, you think it's a certain thing. And everybody that's stuck in the gym, in the corporate world, at a 9-to-5 job, they think freedom is, I get to travel and I get to be on a laptop, but it isn't, because that's not what you really want to do anyway. That gets boring over time. People want what they can't have. And so that's kind of the definition there. Yeah.
Amazing. Let's wrap up today's episode just on that note. And talking about easier ways to make money so you can go into dental advertising.
Yes. Yeah, if you go into dental advertising, here's the reality. Go into LinkedIn. Go write content. Go deliver a system to them. Go close the clients. And then the thing that, if I had stayed there, is go and figure out delivery in terms of being able to educate them to remodel their structure. There's plenty of ways, and you just have to think about how to add value to somebody. Here's the reality though. If you're doing things for money, you will only get so far. And I know it sounds cliched. And I know if I was listening to myself, I'd be like, fuck off, Lynn, whatever, give me the money. I need it now. And I go, great. That's very short-term thinking, because there are coaches inside of the 1% that are driven by movement and purpose that will outwork you, which then puts your business at risk. You don't want to start a business where you start to get it going, it starts to work, you automate shit, and then boom, someone like me comes in and takes it down and wipes you out and makes you redundant, because I delivered more value, I had more drive, I had more purpose, I had more reason, and you didn't have as much fight in you or willpower to be able to get it done. And so that's, I think a big change is coming to our world. A big change is coming to our modern day internet marketing world, because information's everywhere. So to really sum that up, money is such a short-term thing, but then finding your purpose and your meaning to what you do is really important to secure your future. We're not talking about, just growing your small business. We're going, how do you be secure for life?
Awesome. So with that being said, peace out. Happy my day, guys.
Yesterday wasn't easy. I had to say goodbye to my